How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another reaction video. We're going to be reacting to the version 3.3 program. Time flies, doesn't it? Honestly, it feels like yesterday that I've reacted to the 3.2 special program. It almost feels like that we're just moving on through all the other patches. But it's sad to say that it's possible that this will be the last time we'll ever see any early patches going on from this point forward. Last I recall, I remember a dev saying that from 3.0 all the way up until 3.2, the patches will be at a 5-week interval in comparison to the 6-week interval that we've been getting before 3.0 hit. Last I recall, 3.3 and onwards will see will bring back the 6-week schedule that we were used to before. So it's sad to say that we will get long stretches of content now. But if that means they can remain consistent with their quality, with their storytelling, and their visual fidelity, I mean, more power to them. 3.3 special program will feature characters like Faruzan and Scaramouche, so I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on here. I'm going to make a prediction here. Okay, well, not exactly a prediction because I saw the thumbnail for the special program, but this next patch will definitely talk about Scaramouche, so I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if it's going to be an Archon quest, an interlude quest, or if it's going to be a story quest, but I'm hoping that whatever quest comes up, we will learn more about Scaramouche and slash Wanderer, because he has a name change. But we'll see what happens. I'm wondering where he's gonna go from here. Is he going to defect from the Fatui? Is he going to be his own person? Will Raiden Shogun show up? I don't know. I honestly do not know what's going to happen from here on out. Without any further delay, let's go and react to the 3.3 special program, shall we?
Hey, Traveler, what a surprise! I didn't expect to see you here.
Hey, what's up, man?
I bet you didn't waste any time as soon as you heard that Inazuma was organizing a Test of Courage event, right?
Test of Courage?
I know you. Oh, what am I doing? Well, obviously I'm here scouting out the place. I've been investigating the area and I've already figured out all the plans for the event. Of course, I can tell you all the details. We're practically family. I'm Max Middleman, and this is the Genshin Impact version 3.3 special program. Let's roll the version 3.3 trailer.
Okay, trailer time.
A friendly word of advice. Test of Courage events tend to give rise to a variety of strange rumors and stories. So please, be sure to exercise caution.
Alright, so we're going back to... Oh, God!
How was that? Were you scared?
You mother Pfeiffer!
Who goes there?
So, is there really a ghost around here? Why this time I have a feeling that it's staring right at us?
Are you talking to me?
Well. And
Jester,
Tori's back?
I've completed the task you gave me.
Jester?
From this day forth, Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
Dottore. Dottore! In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Okay, here he comes. Scara himself, Mr. Moosh.
You dare to gaze upon me?
Ooh, I like that crazy face of his. And here comes Faruzan.
Dare to mess with me? Too late for regret.
I'm not sure why, but...
Have fun with this gift.
I'm not sure if I like her voice. I'm not sure if I like Hatsune Miki's voice.
Scaramouche, the mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
All senses clear. all existence void. Oh boy. Oh boy. Gotta know!
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Genshin Impact version 3.3 special program.
So no...
I'm your host, Sarah Miller Cruz, the voice of Lumine in Genshin
So no
Impact.
either VA.
And today
Wow.
I'm joined by...
Max, the one and only middleman voice of the one and only Arataki Ito.
Is hosting it now.
And I'm Patrick Pedraza, voice of the Wanderer. But up until now, travelers have only known me as Scaramouche, and everyone's been battling me in the game lately.
Yeah,
that's true. But to be fair, it's a really cool fight.
It's a really cool fight.
Yeah, I know.
Over
Anyway,
time,
I'm super excited to have the chance to
I
share
won't
some
say
upcoming
the best
content
of
with
battle
everyone.
ever. I still think
What
that...
did you all think about that trailer?
Okay, so I definitely saw Irminsul in there, and I am really excited to find out
I
more
still
about
think
it.
that the battle with the Rock Dino
Yeah, that
is
trailer had
a better battle
everything.
compared
It had
to
everything. It had
Scar's battle, but
action.
that's just
It had drama.
But I think it's only
It was
because of the music.
lighthearted
The
in
music
places, but it
heightens
was
it.
dramatic.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just super stoked for everyone to see Scaramouche's, backstory. I'm super excited about it for reals.
Heck yeah.
Well, speaking of that, following the story's development, Scaramouche is still in Nahida's custody. So I bet the question everyone's
Grandma
wanting to
and
know is how he'll
grandson.
become the Wanderer.
Yeah, for sure. And there's quite a story behind that. If you're interested, then be sure to play through the Archon Quest interlude chapter in
Okay, so it's an
version
interlude
of Genesis.
chapter. Okay.
There is so much to learn in this quest, so I hope everyone checks it out.
Oh, come on, man. You can't just leave everyone hanging like that. How about some hints? Come on, please. Please.
All right.
Hey, what the hell?
Right. How can I say no to a
Did that
cute
little shit
video?
just stick out his
Here's
tongue?
a little preview from the quest.
Bruh.
We ran into two people at the academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. From what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with their imagination. At least that's what they thought.
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Oh,
Pretty rad.
Wait, why are they talking about Tatarasuna?
I guess we'll have to see. It is interesting, though, to see the Traveler, Nahida, and Scaramouche all together so peacefully like that.
You sure about that? I
Yeah,
only
but
saw the
in
Traveler,
this interlude
Paimon,
chapter,
and Scaramouche.
Nahida will task the Traveler and Paimon with keeping an eye on Scaramouche while we go with him into Irminsul in search of some information.
Wait, we're gonna babysit him?
Interesting. So
Sick.
obviously
So long
Nahida
as I
must
get
have
paid.
some reason for deciding to keep Scaramouche around.
Oh, yeah, totally. And I'm liking Scaramouche's new style. Ooh, dude's looking sharp.
Heck yeah, always.
Can we go back to the other one, please?
Right. And at this point, he's known by a completely
Can we have an
different name,
alternate costume
the
where
Wanderer.
we get to switch between
Okay,
the Wanderer and
so I know
Scaramouche's
I'm not the
outfits?
only one who's curious about what happened. I mean, it looks like he's
It would
really
be nice.
changed a lot.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm afraid that's all we can show for now. Travelers will have to experience the story for themselves in-game. I mean, it's better to explore the storyline without too many spoilers, right?
True, true.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, we'll leave the rest for travelers to discover themselves. But the Wanderer is also going to be a new playable character in version 3.3, so let's talk about that. I'm sure
Yeah,
many of our
what's his
viewers are
gameplay
curious
all
about
about?
his talents.
Heck yeah, sure thing. Let's have a look at the Wanderer in combat. There's no need to exchange pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation just to occupy silence. The wind rises. Bow your head.
All right, Patrick, you're up.
This
Introduce the Wanderer
mofo!
for us.
Sure thing. The Wanderer is a catalyst user
This
and has an
friggin'
animal
guy!
vision, so he uses wind blades to perform ranged normal attacks.
Wait a second, wind blades?
Not the same as the Traveler's wind blade, though.
Okay.
So, as everyone probably already noticed, the Wanderer can hover in the air when he casts his elemental skill. Upon using his elemental skill, he will first deal AoE damage before leaping into the air and entering a hovering state. So while hovering, the Wanderer's normal and charge attacks will be converted into Kugo, Fushudan,
You're
and
gonna hate his
Kugo Tofukai,
smug
respectively.
attitude.
The damage they deal and their AoE will be
If
increased.
I get him by complete
Their
accident, I'm gonna
damage
smack
will
him
be
with
considered
Raiden.
normal and charge attack damage, respectively. Also, Kugo Tofukai will not consume stamina.
Well, shit,
and
needs to
he
learn
can
a
remain
lesson.
hovering for a certain duration.
That's so awesome! He can fly!
I know,
I mean,
right?
I will admit,
But
I will
he
admit,
can't
his
stay
elemental
hovering
skill's kind of
forever.
cool.
While hovering, the Wanderer constantly consumes Kuguryoku points to maintain his hovering state, which
I
is
see
the blue
that.
meter you see on the screen. Even if he doesn't move or attack, hovering will still consume Kuguryoku points.
Okay.
So this mechanic works a little
Looks
differently
like flying
than
will
our
actually
typical
be the
stamina
fastest
meter.
way to travel.
There are many possible actions the Wanderer can perform while hovering in the air, which all rely on Kuguryoku points rather than stamina. So, for example, sprinting mid-air will consume additional Kuguryoku points to accelerate
It's like an
mid-air.
elongated
and
air
holding
dash.
the sprint button will cause persistent point consumption to maintain speed. So this effect will replace his default sprint. Jumping expends
Oh, what?
extra Kuguryoku points to increase hovering height. Holding jump will cause persistent Kuguryoku point consumption to keep increasing
Yo!
hovering
Oh, wow.
height. Of course, running out of points will end his hovering state.
Oh, okay. So travelers
Okay,
need to
okay.
plan their actions while hovering.
Exactly. So with his talent, Jade Claim Flower, when casting his elemental skill, if it contacts Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro, that instance of the skill will receive a corresponding buff effect depending on which element was contacted. So for
Okay,
example,
so
increasing his
there's gonna be
Kuguryoku
some-
points cap, attack,
God.
crit rate, or restoring a set amount of energy upon hitting
He looks like
opponents
he's
with a normal or charged
He looks like a
attack.
bit of fun
The
to
Wanderer
play.
can have up to 2
I'll
different
admit
kinds
that.
of these
I'll
buffs
admit that.
simultaneously.
Ooh.
Oh, look, check that out. Part of the halo behind him changes color depending on the buffs you get. So travelers will be able to easily understand what effects the Wanderer currently has.
I like that. It's helpful and still looks really cool.
Yeah.
So after unlocking another talent, Gales of Reverie, when the Wanderer is in the hovering state, if his normal or charged attack hits an enemy, there is a set chance to gain another buff effect, allowing him to sprint midair without consuming Kuguryoku points.
Hey.
Additionally, this buff effect will fire wind arrows to attack the enemy.
Ooh.
Oh, dope. I'm sure extra buff effects like that will go a long way for players when they're in combat.
Yeah, for sure. And if you've noticed, there is a colorful aura of light around his body to indicate when that buff effect is triggered.
I saw that.
That's pretty cool. I love all the detail they've put into the Wanderer.
All right, this brings us to the Wanderer's Elemental Burst.
Sweet.
Yay!
So, check this out. Upon unleashing his burst, he compresses the atmosphere and stomps it down toward the enemy.
Okay,
So,
so
travelers should note that if the Wanderer is in a hovering state when he unleashes his burst, then the hovering state will end and he will begin descending after the burst is completed.
Okay, this stomping animation is a little aggressive.
Yeah, but
No.
it's cool.
I know,
The
and
attitude
it
in that
actually
face
suits
of
his
his.
character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't help but agree.
Okay.
Wait. Let's not forget about the exploration talent.
Ah, yes. This is an interesting one. The Wanderer can decrease the Mora required when ascending bows and catalysts.
Hey, now, you can never complain about saving Mora. Am I right?
All right, so
Okay, that's
more saving
true.
talent then.
All right,
8?
now that we've seen the Wanderer, let's move on to
And
the
I guess
next
that's
new
the-
character.
That's the
Are you
Wanderer's
ready?
signature weapon.
I'm ready.
Yay!
Now, Faruzan.
What did you say? Oh, I'm old now, so every other phrase escapes my ears. Try calling me Madam Faruzan, and I'll see if I can pick that up.
With a body type like that, I highly doubt that, but okay, you do you.
Huh? What is it that you would like to learn more about? Different forms of pressure-based puzzle mechanisms? The base layer design of elemental monuments? Huh. Wait. Did you forget to call me Madam Faruzan just now when you asked your question? Whoa! What? There's nothing wrong with being afraid of thunder, even at an older age.
Oh,
yeah,
she's
okay.
so sassy.
Yeah,
I know.
and
The
smart
sass
too.
is real.
She seems so awesome.
She's fun.
I wonder what her skirt's made
I know,
out of.
her design is so cool and really detailed. I love it.
So even
For
though
a
she looks
four-star character?
super young, she's actually an old person? Like, where's my teeth?
Well, she's not that old.
Oh,
know,
right.
could've
Like what, she's in her 50s or something?
Faruzan's age is probably still nothing compared to Scaramouche.
Yep.
But let's call him the Wanderer, Sarah. Please.
Okay, you know who I meant. Actually, now that I think about it, yokai can also live a really long time too.
That's right, yeah, no, and speaking of age, isn't the Traveler's age also kind of mysterious?
That's true. It looks like all of our characters are intriguing. But it's safe to say that Faruzan is way older than most people in Teyvat. Faruzan works in the Academia's Haravatat Darshan and has been a hairbod, which roughly means mentor, for over a century.
So I bet everyone out there is wondering if she's also some kind of creature blessed with long life, you know? Like Klee?
No, she's actually just your regular, typical human being.
Oh.
Well, maybe not so typical. About
That's what I thought.
100 years ago, Faruzan was an
Oh,
undisputed
and she
genius,
pulls out her little
traveling
book.
all around Sumeru and solving many puzzles and mysteries. The notes she left behind eventually became the basis of mechanical research for later generations.
Whoa, she sounds pretty amazing.
But later, she accidentally stumbled into some ruins while trying to solve a puzzle. There, she encountered some strange phenomenon which stopped her from aging, and was trapped there for nearly 100 years.
Woo.
She eventually solved the puzzle and was able to finally return to Sumeru.
Can you imagine being trapped in a puzzle for 100 years?
Mm-mm.
Wait. So that's how she's been hairbod for over a century.
Yeah. And even now, she still has the pride of a scholar in her heart and is a very talented person. It's just that after being separated from the world for so long, she's kind of fallen behind the times now.
Oh, hey, I get what you mean. She was once a proud researcher in a niche field that has become unpopular after 100 years. So, is she still completely dedicated to her field?
Yep. And she often tries using her old age as a means of drumming up support for her ideas.
Yeah, with a body
However,
like that,
I
you're
think
not
she'd
gonna
prefer
get
to
any
be
help.
complained about for using her seniority rather than garnering sympathy for her experience of being trapped in the ruins.
Yeah, sounds like she's quite the character.
I know, right? Okay, so now that we've covered her backstory, why don't
Honestly,
we
if she
take a
had
look at
an older
Faruzan's
body
abilities
type,
in
I'd
combat?
probably be a
Fight,
bit more
fight,
convinced,
fight.
but maybe my mind might
100
change.
years have passed, yet there hasn't been
Neat,
any
another
creature
bow
to
user.
stumble
That's
over
exactly what we need.
Dare to mess with me? Have fun with this gift.
that's it?
I love all the
Was that actually
geometric
it?
shapes when she's playing. Did you guys see that?
Yes, there's
crazy.
so much geometry. and
Y'all
I
need to
love
explain this to me
geometry.
like
It
I'm
looks
10
so
years
cool.
old.
Ah, yeah.
So, Faruzan is an animo character, and she wields a bow as her weapon. Her normal attacks are the usual bow attacks you'd expect from a bow user, so there's not too much to say about that. But her skills are where things get interesting. Her elemental skill deploys a polyhedron
Ooh.
that deals damage to enemies. After using her skill, her next aimed shot will become a special attack that creates a vortex, pulling nearby objects and opponents in.
Oh, nice. So she can clump enemies together.
And there's also another thing about her special charged attack. It will create a vortex effect at its point of impact. And if the attack hits an enemy or ally member, it'll apply a mark and create a vortex after a short delay.
Okay. So it looks like there will be a lot of potential uses for this attack. Travelers will have to experiment with it and see what they come up with.
Yeah, I think it'd be amazing to try hitting teammates with the arrow in co-op mode and have them charge into the enemies to group them all together. I'll have to see who wants to try that with me. After unlocking the talent Impetuous Flow, the time required for fully charging Faruzan's next shot will be reduced, and the arrow will reduce the target enemy's animo resistance. In her
Animo
elemental
resistance.
burst, she deploys a dazzling polyhedron and releases a whirlwind pulse. Throughout its duration, the dazzling polyhedron will continuously move along a triangular path. Once it reaches each corner of that triangular path, it will unleash one more whirlwind pulse.
Yeah, 1 minute she's here, the next she's gone for 100 years.
Stop it!
Bada boom!
No.
Stop it!
Even Sino's jokes are funnier than that.
It was pretty
All
funny.
right. Anyway, let's hear what effects these whirlwind pulses have.
Sure. When the Whirlwind Pulse hits opponents, it will decrease their Animo resistance. It will also apply an Animo damage buff effect to all nearby party members when it's unleashed. Travelers should note that the effective range of this buff is quite large, and it's not just within the Whirlwind Pulse itself, so there's no need to go chasing the polyhedron. After unlocking her talent, Lost Wisdom of the Seven Caverns, when a team member uses normal, charged, or plunging attacks, elemental skills, or elemental bursts to deal Animo damage to an enemy, the damage will increase based on Faruzan's base attack. This effect can only be triggered once for a certain duration of time.
Oh, so it seems she'll be the solid support.
Yeah.
Totally.
Definitely
And
definitely
as a
support
researcher
character.
of mechanics and puzzles, Faruzan has taken it upon herself to explore many ruins.
Oh,
with
so
her
that's
travels
our
taking
expedition
her all
character.
across Sumeru. Her exploration talent reflects this, and she gains more rewards when dispatched on a Sumeru expedition for 20 hours.
I'm sure no other mentor in Haravatat has 100 years of experience in solving puzzles.
Yeah, I gotta say, that's pretty hard to beat.
Mhm.
So, the big question is, when can travelers expect to get these new characters?
That is a good question.
All right,
Let's talk
let's see
about
what's
the
up.
upcoming event wishes. In the early part of version 3.3, the Wanderer and
Faruzan is there.
Arataki Ito will be available via their own event wishes. Faruzan will also be making her debut in these event wishes. In the
Let's
later
face it.
part of version 3.3, we'll be
Ah,
seeing
God!
rerun event wishes for both the Raiden
Oh,
Shogun
no!
and Kamisato Ayato. And last
God,
but not
Raiden!
least, the new 5-star catalyst, Tule Tula's Remembrance, will be appearing in a new weapon event wish.
And that's not all. In version 3.3, 2 brand new artifact series will become available.
Oh, 2 new
so
artifacts? Oh,
travelers
shit.
should be sure to check out the corresponding domain.
Woo! More artifacts!
Which ones are we talking about here?
I hope travelers will have fun experimenting and trying new
Hold on,
colors.
wait. I know that this is supposed. I know I'm supposed to let this video play, but I want to read it for myself for this instance. Desert Pavilion Chronicle animal bonus 15%. 4 piece. When charge attacks hit opponents, the equipping character's normal attack speed will increase by 10%, while normal charge and plunging damage will increase by 40% for 15 seconds. This sounds like a Xiao piece, maybe Hazo, but that might be stretching it a bit. Flower of Paradise Lost, Elemental Mastery by 80. The equipping characters Bloom, Hyper Bloom, and Burgeon reaction are increased by 40%. Additionally, the equipping character triggers Bloom, Hyper Bloom, or Burgeon. They will gain another 25% bonus to the effect mentioned prior. Each stack lasts 10 seconds. Max 4 stacks simultaneously. This effect can only be triggered once per second. The character who equips this can still trigger its effects when it's not on the field. Scaramuche's gameplay seems interesting. I mean, it's definitely he definitely has a unique play style compared to a lot of other Catalyst users. Strangely more unique than what Hazo is able to provide earlier. So I don't think I'll be pulling for him, but I am interested to play around with it, at least in the trial. As for Faruzan, I don't know. I was gonna say at first, I remember talking about Faruzan, and I stated that I wanted her, but only because she's essentially Hatsune Miku. But now knowing what she's capable of doing, I don't know. I might be more inclined to save my stuff rather
Welcome
than
back to the
just
version
spend it.
3.3 special program. Okay, Patrick, what do we have next?
So next, we'll be covering the
What is that
upcoming events of
sword?
the new version.
That's right, we've already mentioned the Test of Courage event.
Tokabo
and I'm sure
Shigure
plenty of you were
sword.
wondering about that, so let's start there.
What kind of sword was that?
You must be here to participate in the Test of Courage. I can already see a dark aura surrounding the two of you. If you carelessly go running into the event, all
Oh no,
it'll take
it
is
went up.
one little misstep, and the darkness will swallow you up. Some strange and unusual things may occur along the way. If you ever feel you can't handle it,
Ooh.
you may withdraw from the event at any time.
Look at that though.
This is your last chance.
Hey!
I'll count it down. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Test of Courage. Enter at your own risk.
I wonder if this was supposed to be
that
the
was pretty
Halloween
interesting.
event.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a
it
funny
is
feeling
a
I
test
got.
of courage, so I'm sure there'll be some scary stuff going on there.
I ain't scared.
Anyway, to successfully clear this event, we'll be facing a series of little tests.
Ooh, what's this? Tests, you say?
Yes, that's right.
Likely
Word
not
has
going
it
to
that
be
if you walk around the test of
combat
courage, you might
related.
find yourself encountering a special sort of game. We've already got the rules down, so I'll do a quick introduction. Basically, travelers will have to control a bouncing bar to bounce a ball and use skill ball effects to break
it's
as
just
many bricks as
breakout.
possible.
Okay, I'm liking this one. Seems pretty straightforward.
During the game, travelers will be able to trigger elemental reactions to break bricks more effectively.
Nice!
Okay, that's
It
an
even has
interesting
elemental
idea.
reactions.
Yeah, we can control the character to move the bar. When the character we're using is either pyro, hydro, cryo, or electro, the corresponding element will be applied to the bar. By switching characters, you can change the element of the bar.
Okay, all the pieces are falling in place now. The bar can infuse a certain element, and the blocks
That
also
is
have their own
interesting.
elements. So causing a skill ball of one element to hit blocks of different elements will trigger elemental reactions. There,
It's a
how'd I
different
do?
kind of breakout
you
that I'm
nailed it.
used to.
The bar will add the element corresponding to your character. Besides triggering reactions the way you just mentioned, if a skill ball is already infused by an element and it hits the bar, it will also trigger a reaction, causing the skill ball to have some additional effects. When preparing your team, you can
Wow.
equip modifiers to
Okay,
receive various buff
okay.
effects, which will help you successfully clear the challenge.
Oh, nice.
Also, when there are less than a certain amount of bricks on the board and the ball lands another hit, the bar will unleash fireworks.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah. Travelers can utilize this effect to break some bricks that would normally be difficult to hit directly.
It's like a bonus attack.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
So, travelers will need to select characters of the right elements, equip the appropriate modifiers,
I
and
kinda
use
wanna-
different
I
elemental
really-
reactions
I'm
to break
kind of
bricks
interested
and
in
score
this
more points.
in this
And then
mini game.
travelers will be able to
Wow.
use their points to exchange for rewards in the event shop, correct?
That's right.
Of
Also,
course.
travelers will have the option of teaming up and playing the event together in co-op mode.
Oh, that's a
What?
lot of fun.
Yeah, super fun.
How's that gonna
In
look?
addition to this minigame, the Test of Courage storyline will also contain more challenges. Travelers will even have a chance to meet with some good friends again, so be sure to check out this new event. All right, let's move on to our next event.
Okay, so next up, we have a race event called
Looks like
Across
back
the
to
Wilderness. Your objective, collecting balloons.
Oh no!
I don't know, seems like the Wanderer's abilities might come in real handy here.
I know, right?
So, in this event,
I'm getting
each stage
some
will have
Crackdown
wilderness balloons
flashbacks
scattered
now.
all around. Travelers will need to find as many wilderness balloons as possible within the time limit to earn increasingly better rewards.
Rooftop races
So
in
during the
Genshin
challenge,
Impact.
travelers will be able to utilize their character's skills and talents. So it'll be important to assemble the right
Oh,
team
no.
depending on the traits and terrain of the challenge area.
And I thought I
Oh,
purged the
okay.
Crackdown from
Yeah,
my
so
memory, but I
travelers
guess
can
not.
also use
We're
something
sticking,
called
we're
the
sticking with it.
Wilderness Compass to obtain various buffs, which include enhanced jumping capabilities, increased movement speed, or unlimited stamina, etc.
Ooh, cool.
However, you can only claim one buff during each challenge. You must consume Blessed Energy to use the compass and gain the selected buff. You may charge the compass up by finding wilderness balloons or interacting with Blessed Energy in the challenge. Or you can always wait for the compass to passively charge over time.
Yo, this event looks pretty crazy. It's almost like watching parkour.
Parkour,
There are
parkour!
two different
Parkour,
kinds of wilderness
parkour!
balloons in these challenges. The first is harvest balloons, which will increase the overall progress of your search for wilderness balloons. The other kind is sonar balloons, which will cause several harvest balloons to appear around you for a set amount of time.
That's awesome.
So there will be 5 stages available for this event, and travelers will need to consider the conditions and terrain of each stage to come up with the best way to complete it. Also, travelers may team up in co-op mode for challenges.
Ooh, more chances to play together. I love it.
Yeah, same. Okay, let's move on to our next event.
Everyone's favorite game of hide and seek is back. with
Hey,
the Windtrace
Windtrace
event.
is
And of
back.
course, this is
Hell
going to be
yeah.
another co-op event, and I, for one, am super excited for it.
There's nothing like a good co-op. Many of you might already be familiar with this event by now, but there have been a few changes. Let me introduce what travelers can expect to see this time around.
Let's see what kinds of
You
exploits
can probably
that we've
skip some of the
removed this
basics
time
this
around.
time. You know, players either hide or seek. And then...
Okay, wait a second. There actually might be some new travelers out there who've never seen this event before. So why don't you start with some of the basics?
Right, good point.
Fair enough,
Okay,
fair enough.
Let's start at the beginning then. This is a game with a long history in Mondstadt. Travelers will be split into 2 different sides.
So obviously, we're gonna
Rebels
use the
and the
Inazuman
Hunter.
characters.
You will need to use skills and master the art of hiding or chasing down others to win this event. The goal of the Hunter is to capture all the rebels, while the rebels run or use other means to keep themselves from getting caught by the Hunter.
Okay, that's straightforward enough. So, what else you got for us?
Well, some travelers may remember playing as the rebels and getting caught early in the game. Once that would happen, all you could do was spectate and watch the rest as the others continue playing. But this time around, once you're caught, you'll still be able to participate in the match even in observer mode.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Once you're in observer mode, you can't be seen by other players and will receive the illusory beacon skill. This skill will allow you to place a random beacon to confuse the Hunter. If the beacon successfully tricks the Hunter and is destroyed, then the Hunter will suffer an obscured vision effect.
So even after you've been captured,
Man.
you can be like a little ghost trying to help your teammates by disrupting the Hunter.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. And
There
at least
has
you
to be
won't
a
have to sit
cooldown,
there and
right?
just watch the rest of the match anymore.
Exactly, but what does the Hunter get this time? I mean, we gotta keep it fair.
Some new Windward arts have been added for both the Hunter and the Rebels. The Hunter will now be able to use the Hunter's Net. This net can be thrown and will remove any Rebel disguises within its range, and will notify the Hunter that a Rebel was detected. If a beacon is caught in the net, it'll be destroyed and the Hunter will not suffer from obscured vision.
Ah,
Nice.
okay.
So I guess if you love
That's
playing
how they
Hunter,
balance
you'll
it.
probably love this.
Oh yeah, you definitely should. The skill Rebels used in previous versions of the game to place beacons can now only be used by players in observer mode. However, the Rebels will be able to use an all-new Concealing Beacon skill. This skill will allow you to deploy a beacon for a set duration and remain invisible while you're around that beacon. All players, including your Rebel teammates, will be unable to see you while you're invisible. If the Concealing Beacon is destroyed by the Hunter, then the Hunter will have their vision obscured for a short time. Sounds pretty fun, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so even if you end up being captured by the Hunter at the start of the game, you'll still be able to participate and assist your teammates. And, did I mention Primo Gems and other rewards? The good stuff. So be sure to
The
check
good
it out.
stuff. Like the,
Oh, that's awesome.
Oni knows.
Seriously, I can't wait to play with friends. Okay, our next event is a combat-based event.
Time for some combat!
Whoop, whoop.
In a forbidden place warded by dust and sand.
hey!
Mysterious foes
Oh
have
wait,
assembled
never
lines
mind.
of fortifications
I was
to
excited
stop
for a
your
moment.
coming.
I thought it was the Labyrinth Warriors.
That's right, a new edition of
It's
Misty
just Misty
Dungeon will
Dungeon,
arrive
but honestly,
in version
that's
3.3.
fine. That's fine.
Sweet.
But this time around, there will be a total of 7 trials with different themes awaiting you in the Misty Dungeon. Each has a different
One of them
ley
looks
line
like a Primo
disorder,
Gem.
and travelers will have to adjust their teams according to the disorder's effects and the distribution of enemies. There will also be trial characters for you to select from as well. After entering the domain, travelers will need to go and complete 3 challenges to collect ancient runes. After collecting power from 3 ancient runes, we can power up the control array and proceed to the final challenge. Also, throughout the trial, additional benediction mechanisms and challenges will appear. Travelers may choose to interact with these to increase the ley line
What?
disorder's effects or revive and heal your team.
You know, if it were up to me, I'd say just go for all the challenges.
I know, but travelers should keep in mind that the challenge objective for each trial might be different, so be sure to check the objective and aim for that while proceeding. In terms of rewards, travelers can look forward to winning Primo Gems and other various prizes. Yes.
Ooh, I like prizes.
And last but not least, version 3.3 will also have Leyline
Leyline
Overflow events.
Neat.
Travelers can look forward to saving their resin and earning more Mora and experience books.
Nice, that's awesome. That'll be great for all the travelers out there still leveling up all their new characters. And even if you don't need those resources now, it's always good to stock up and have more on hand, am I right?
Yeah,
So
the
travelers
Dia
looking
funds.
to upgrade their characters
That's what it's gonna
won't
be.
want
The
to miss
Dia
this.
funds.
Yeah, I mean, this is all good stuff.
In addition to the new version's limited time event,
here comes the Invocation
version 3.3
TCG.
will also be adding
card
a
game
new
is
permanent
coming.
game mode called Genius Invocation TCG.
Genius Invocation TCG!
But before we get into that, let's take another quick break and enjoy a redemption code.
Bruh.
Yay!
Slap that code on the screen.
We'll be right back with more special program.
We'll introduce this card game that's been taking to bat by storm. In the
Get
version
permanent gameplay
3.1
mode.
special program, we already revealed that Genius Invocation TCG will be a card game where we can challenge various characters and NPCs or battle against your friends. But there is actually a legend behind this game. It is said that a young guy in Sumeru found an ancient casket of tomes in the attic. He opened it and discovered that the soul of an ancient TCG player called the Crocodile King had been captured inside.
Free him!
What a name.
It turns out that the Crocodile King was King Deshret's viceroy, who battled an opponent named the Ibis King. During the match, the Crocodile King fell prey to his opponent's scheme and was sealed away in the casket of tomes.
Ouch, game over.
After being unexpectedly released by the kid, the Crocodile King possesses him and helps him to gradually climb the ranks to becoming a legendary TCG player.
Nice. Hang on, is it just me, or does that kind of sound like the plot to a light novel or something?
It does.
You're right. It turns out that Yai Publishing House is about to release a hit light novel series based on Genius Invocation TCG.
Okay, now this is starting to sound like a plug for Yai Publishing House.
It's the in-game version
But anyway,
of Yu-Gi-Oh!
That's the legend on how Genius Invocation TCG came to be, though it's probably just a story they came up with for marketing the game.
So while you were telling us about the story, I was over here researching the rules to the game. Basically, Genius Invocation TCG is a game where you use a constructed deck of cards to duel against an opponent. The objective is to defeat all of your opponent's character cards.
That's right.
Also, there are many features and mechanics in the game that resonate with Genshin Impact's gameplay, so it shouldn't be too hard for players to get the hang of.
Right, I even saw some elemental reactions in the gameplay.
Yup, a constructed deck must contain character cards. And as you might expect, these character cards have a normal attack, an elemental skill, and an elemental burst.
Bam!
So when a character card deals elemental damage to an enemy, it will cause them to be affected by that element. Then, you can switch to a character card of a different element and use their abilities to trigger an elemental reaction.
Wait, did you guys notice that there are even monster character cards? Can we
Yep.
even make a deck of, like, just the monsters from the game?
You're really getting into this, Max.
Heck yeah, I am! I like card games!
Who doesn't?
So in Genius Invocation TCG, all
Oh
actions
no,
require
we
you
got
to spend
Dungeons
elemental
and
dice.
Dragons dice?
Each round, both you and your opponent will roll 8 elemental dice. Each of these elemental dice can have any one of 8 elemental attributes.
Hold on, but there's only 7 elements in
Wait,
the
what's
world
the
of
eighth
Tibet.
one?
You're right. So in addition to the 7 standard elements, there's also one called the Omni element. The elemental dice required for a character card to perform an action correspond to the character's element. So, for example, a Pyro character like D-Luke needs either Pyro or Omni elemental dice to perform an action.
Oh.
Clear now?
Yep, crystal clear.
Okay, so
Also,
Omni is
elemental
sort of
dice
like
can be used
a
to switch characters or play
like a
a
Joker
variety
card,
of other
right?
cards, such as equipment cards,
No,
event
sorry, not a
cards,
Joker
and
card, like a
support
wild
cards.
card.
All these cards create the potential for a variety of strategies.
Right. While playing Genius Invocation TCG, travelers can earn player experience, which will increase your player level. As your level increases, you'll be able to challenge more characters and NPCs. By completing challenges, you may earn lucky coins, new cards, or other rewards. Lucky
More
coins can be
primos.
exchanged in the event shop for cards, or
Okay,
can
I thought
even
you could
unlock
buy
dynamic
weapons
skins for
through
certain
that.
cards.
Dynamic skins? Those are cards that have moving illustrations, right?
That's right. All character cards can unlock a dynamic skin. After unlocking that, there'll even be a cool bonus animation whenever you cast that character's elemental
Ooh,
burst.
nice.
And if you're confident in your TCG skills, you can also invite a friend to duel. After reaching a high enough player level, you'll even unlock a matchmaking mode. So be sure to give it a try.
Travelers should
Can't
note
wait for
that
one-hit
playing
kills.
against your friends or other travelers won't count
Oh, sorry.
towards any
One-
leaderboards or
one
provide
turn
any
kills.
rewards. So you can relax. It's all just for fun. Okay, that's everything we have for Genius Invocation TCG, and that brings us to the end of today's special program.
Oh.
So, what did you think?
Why does it have to be over? There's so much that this version has to offer.
Yeah, I can't even take it all in right now. I'm just super stoked to be part of this.
I'll be honest with you, this is gonna be interesting. This will be some interesting stuff going on here. In terms of story, I can't wait to see what Scaramouche's tale will entail. And the events will look interesting. They look very interesting. I like the Arkanoid mini game, and then there's the Misty Dungeon, but this time in Sumeru. So I can't wait to see that. So I can't wait to try my hand on that one. And then Windtrace comes back. That's also kind of cool. And the Genius Invocation. I'm interested. I mean, I'm glad that we're getting some permanent gameplay modes, so that's good. That's good. Like you can never complain about that. Like I won't complain about it, at least. And I can. And that's more or less all there is to it. Like there's some things that I'm interested in. Scaramouche looks pretty good in terms of gameplay. Faruzan, I won't lie, it's a little disappointing, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll have to get my hands on her before I make any judgments. So we shall see for ourselves. But with that said, I don't think I'm gonna end up summoning for Faruzan. That like the likelihood of me summoning for her is a little on the lower end. I'll admit that. So I think if anything, I might want to save up for Dia. Like I might want to continue doing that for the time being. Maybe her gameplay trial might have convinced me otherwise, but I mean, I'm going in with low expectations. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed what you see here, leave a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more reaction videos in the future. And in the meantime, take care.